Hi students, this is K. Mujakar, lecturer in commerce. In today's video, we can discuss about foreign direct investment in detail. Before going to discuss this video, till now who have not yet subscribed my channel, please subscribe my channel in order to get the more updates and also share to your friends. Due to sharing, your friends may also get benefited. Okay, see here, foreign direct investment, it is nothing but one of the investment or capital investment. Here, foreign direct investment is considered as a major source of non-debt financial resource for the economic development. Why it is a major source of non-debt? Means here we can discuss here. Here what is mean by non-debt? We know that debt means nothing but the liability. Yes or no? Say for example, when we borrowing a money or think any that if we are borrowing a money from the lender, then what we have to do as a person or as an individual, I have to repay to the concerned person with the interest and also a principal amount. Yes or no? Before paying such a amount to the lender, I am a debt to that person. Yes or no? I am debt to that person. I am a liability to such person. Here non-debt means nothing but it is opposite term. It is opposite term. Here nothing but why we are saying foreign direct investment is considered as a major source of non-debt financial resource means here I will say here non-debt receipts are non-debt receipts are the receipts which doesn't incur any future payment. No, any future payment doesn't incur any future payment burden for the government. Burden for the government. Yes or no? Debt means nothing but we are liable to pay to the other person. Here non-debt receipts means nothing but there is no any burden of future payment for the government. Why means I will say one of the another example to you. See here, if we take the example of tax and duties, we know that who will collect the taxes. Tax will be levied by the government and collected by the government from the people through either direct tax or through either indirect tax. Yes or no? Here tax is the biggest source of income. Yes or not? The tax is the biggest source of income. After collecting the income, what they are doing, the government is spending that income on the welfare activities. Okay, it is the secondary. However, the tax and duties is one of the major source of income. Yes or no? It is one of the major source of income. After receiving the income, is there is any liability to pay to the other persons? No. Yes or not? It is one of the income to us. It is one of the benefit. Yes or no? Due to receiving of income from people, what we are doing? We are benefiting the other people. Same as here also, due to this foreign direct investment, what we are doing, we are utilizing this foreign direct investment or capital investment. What we are doing, we are utilizing such type of investment and we are using for our economic development purpose. Yes or no? Say for example, I'll give one of the example to you. Think that for example, if we use the labor intensive techniques, then the labor cost is very high. The labor cost is very high and the quality is not so good and our products prices also very high. Yes or no? Due to such discrepancies, we are unable to export our products throughout the global world. Yes or no? Say for example, if we have sufficient funds and all the facilities are available, if we are using capital intensive techniques, what we'll do, we can export our products to the global world with the cheapest price and there will be a high quality of products and high quantity of goods. Yes or no? So in order to available such type of capital intensive techniques, what we needed, we need sufficient funds or sufficient technology. Yes or no? Say for example, I have one product. I have a one product I am interested to manufacture one good product of 100 pieces of 100 pieces or leave it. I would like to manufacture one of the quality product. For such product I doesn't have proper technology. So with this foreign direct investment, what I will do means I will import some of the technology from the foreign countries. From the foreign countries. Due to availability of such type of technology, what I will do, I will utilize to manufacture the products and I can export throughout the global world. Yes or no? So such are the major benefits. So here, so what I am going to say is here major non-debt means nothing but one of the benefit to us. One of the benefit to us. What type of benefits? Like it will be the benefit which is in the form of the financial resource. With this financial resource, what we are doing? We are utilizing for our the economic development. Yes or no? So we are saying foreign direct investment is nothing but one of the major source of non-debt financial resources for the economic development. And FDI flows into India have grown consistently since liberalization only. Yes or no? See, say for example, before 1991, we have no any liberalization, privatization, globalization. Yes or no? What is meant by liberalization? Relaxation of previous government restrictions. It means before 1991, which the goods which are manufacturing by our markets, the taxes are very high. Yes or no? Due to taxes are very high, the innovative entrepreneurs are unable to create or innovate a product. Why? Because due to taxes are very high and unable to export to the other countries. Yes or no? If we doesn't export the goods to the other countries, what it happens? Our their cash inflows doesn't comes into the our country. In turn, what it will happen, we will import the goods of the other country. Due to importing of goods on other country, what it will happen, our cash inflows will goes to the other country. It is the biggest loss. Yes or no? Before 1991, we doesn't have and we doesn't have to or more chances to export our good quality of goods throughout the global world. It is one of the major problem. So after 1991, the government has been announced the liberalization concept. Due to liberalization, we have many benefits. Yes or no? What is the main benefit? Tax free benefits. If we say, for example, if there is one innovative entrepreneur, even though if he doesn't have proper funds, he have a good talent and innovative capability to innovate a products, but he doesn't have proper funds to implement such type of product. In such situations, as a government, if I given proper and sufficient funds to that entrepreneur, what he will do? He will innovate a products. He will innovate a new products. Due to that innovating of new products, what will it lead to? There is many benefits like economic growth. It leads to the backward regional development. Automatically, if we export such type of goods to the other countries, what it will happen? The developed countries currencies are very high or their value is very high. Such type of benefits are available to them. So if we provide the tax free benefits, what it will happen? Remaining not only the other the entrepreneurs who are trying to enter into this entrepreneurship field, they show their talent if we give such type of tax free benefits. So FDI here, when coming to say here, FDI flows into India have grown consistently since liberalization only. Yes or no? Due to liberalization only, what we are doing? We are making our businesses throughout the globalized world. So here also foreign direct investment, more income flow in India have grown only after the liberalization only. Before 1991, was no such type of foreign direct investment was available to our Indian countries. So this is one of the one, and it is one of the important component of the foreign capital also. Next, since FDI infuses the long-term sustainable capital in the economy, yes or no? Say for example, there is one advertisement. What is the advertisement? It includes into the deferred revenue expenditure in terms of accounting. Yes or no? What is the benefit of advertisement? Say for example, if you give any advertisement through hoardings of any company, what it will happen? It gives it benefits some more years. Yes or no? Same as here also, foreign direct investment is one of the long term sustainable capital in the economy, and it contributes. How it is contributing? It contributes towards technology transfer, development of strategic sectors, and greater innovation and competition and employment creation, among us other benefits also. Yes or no? After a foreign direct investment has been involved in India, what is the main benefits? We are importing the technology from other countries also. We are importing the technology due to there is a good technology. How we are manufacturing a product? We are manufacturing a product with cheapest price. Due to our products are very cheap, there will be more sales. Due to more sales, automatically the profits will also be more. So what here, when after foreign direct investment has entered into India, what is the main benefit? There is an main benefit of we are importing the technology out, and also we are developing our strategic sectors, and due to foreign direct investment there is an greater innovation and we are also giving the strict competition to other manufacturing units who are outside the foreign country from our Indian itself. And also due to foreign direct investment there are also more employment benefits also. So here what they are saying means foreign direct investment, they are contributing towards technology transfer, development of strategic sectors, and greater innovation and competition and employment creation, among us other benefits also. Next, therefore, therefore, it is inherent intent and objective of government of India to attract and promote FDI in order to supplement to domestic capital. Domestic capital. Yeah, is it right? However, we are think that I have one company. I have a one company. Say for example, A company. Even though think that it is not a long term company, it is not a big company, it is one of the medium company. Even though I have the sufficient funds as a medium company, I have borrowed the funds from some of the financial institutions and some private owned capital. These funds are not sufficient to me in order to make my company throughout the global world. In such situations, the foreign direct investment, how it will work means it will work as a additional one. It will make as a supplement one. Say for example, if I have a 50 crores, if I got other 50 crores, what it leads to? I can manufacture still more output. I can give still more quality output. Yes or no? Same as here also, FDI is working as a one of the supplement. Due to supplement to the domestic capital, it gives more benefit, and also technology and skills for accelerated economic growth and development also. Next other thing, FDI as distinguished from foreign portfolio investment. Why they are saying as a differences? Is there is any differences between FDI and portfolio investment? Here we can discuss here. Here foreign direct investments means what we are doing? We are getting the capital investment from other countries also. Yes or no? We are importing the technology. We are developing our strategic techniques. But when coming to the portfolio investment, it is nothing but one of the investment. Here there is no any import of technology. First point, there is no any import of technology, nothing, or any strategic sectors development. Here we know that first of all we can know what is meant by portfolio investment. Here portfolio means nothing but, what is it mean by, it is nothing but combination of securities, combination of securities. Here, what the portfolio manager does, here just the portfolio manager make the deep analysis or depth analysis and make one of the best investment. But foreign direct investment is, see, now itself I have said foreign direct investment is nothing but one of the non-debt receipt. It is one of the non-debt receipts. So here foreign direct investment is it varies from foreign portfolio investment and has a connotation of establishing a lasting interest in an enterprise that is resident in an economy other than that of investor. Next, the government has put in a place a policy framework on FDI which is transparent, predictable and easily comprehensible. Yes or no? In order to understand throughout the India, the government or throughout the global world, what had been done in order to understand by the public, the government what had been done means it has been make a one of the policy framework of FDI which is transparent. There is no any illegal activities, which is transparent and fair manner. So the government has been taken a charge of regarding foreign direct investment, of taken a one of the policy framework which is transparent and also predictable and easily understandable. This framework is embodied in the circular on consolidated FDI policy and which may be updated on an annual basis. Another thing, the government what they are doing means they are also updating the FDI policy framework on an annual basis. They are not keeping this type of foreign direct investment in a constant mode. They are making a updations according to the regulatory changes. We know that our stock market is volatile, it means temporary market. We know that today prices are not tomorrow, today prices are not tomorrow, yes or no? So in such situations, our in particularly like our developing country, there are many regulatory changes like external environment. We can't control the external environment, it is beyond the environment. In such situations, in order to catch up, in order to capture such type of regulatory changes, the government what they are doing means they are keeping their foreign direct investment framework policy with update in order to meet such regulatory changes, in order to meet such regulatory changes which is affected in interregnum. Okay, I'll give some more clarity to you. Say for example, our regulatory changes of percentages adjust. I will giving one of the assumption to understand. Say for example, our regulatory changes is 60%. It is in the year 2021. It is in the 2021. In our foreign direct investment policies in 2017, that percentage is 40%. See here, what is the major difference? There is 20% different. Yes or no? If we, in order to meet to 2021, what it has to make? The policy has to make some of the changes, otherwise we can't meet to the 60%. Yes or no? If we keep the constant, we can't reach to the 60%. So government what they are doing means they are keeping their policy framework on an updated annual basis in order to meet the regulatory changes which are affected in interregnum. Here we can know what is meant by interregnum. It is nothing but one of the interval gap. Yes or no? Say for example, in political environment there are making lot of changes. In legal environment there are making lot of changes. Yes or no? What, due to that there is some effect. It definitely it shows its impact on our country. Yes or no? In order to recover such gap, in order to close such gap, what you have to do? The government has making some of the updations and they are keeping FDI policy in more transparent, predictable, and easyable manner in order to understand by each and every public, and they are making the regulatory and keeping on updated changes according to capture to its regulatory changes and to close that gap, to close that periodic intervals. Okay, one of the definition what they are saying means foreign direct investment. What they are doing, it entails a building productive capacity. Yes or no? It gives a boosting capacity directly in the foreign country in the definition given by in the balance of payments in manual 1993, the article published by the IMF. So foreign direct investment is defined as an investment. Why had been made this? In order to make the lasting interest in the enterprises operating outside the economy of the investor also. See here, the investor, even though if we operate outside the country also, it shows it gives its benefit. So we are calling it as a foreign direct investment. See here, see here, investor what he do means he establishes foreign business operations. Foreign business operations. It is now itself I am saying foreign direct investment is an investment. It takes place when an investor establishes a foreign business operations or acquiring foreign business assets in a foreign company. In a foreign company is known as foreign direct investment. So here also we what we are doing, even though the investor operating its business even the outside country, it gives its benefits. It gives its benefits. Another thing here, the foreign entity or group of associated entities that makes investment is known as the direct investor. The incorporated or incorporated enterprises, a branch or subsidiary respectively, in which direct investment is made, it referred to as direct investment enterprises. Whatever it may be, it is called as a direct investment enterprise or foreign direct investment. Next, we can know what is meant by horizontal FDI and vertical FDI. See here, horizontal FDI and vertical FDI in simple terms is, I will say explain here. When the business, first of all, I will explain what is meant by horizontal and vertical. Whenever anything it is operating at the same level is known as horizontal. When it is operating at different, then it is called vertical. Then vertical. So I'll come to this. What is meant by horizontal and vertical foreign direct investment? See here, if an MNC makes an FDI in the same industry in which MNC does business in its home currency is called horizontal foreign direct investment. In such horizontal FDI, multinational companies they are undertaking horizontal foreign direct investment. Why they have chosen this type of horizontal foreign direct investments? I will tell you. In order to mainly, in order to reduce the cost. Yes or no? If we reduce the cost means automatically our price, our product quality of goods will be purchased by the more people. Yes or no? Say for example, I'll give some more clarity to you. If I have 100 rupees, our each product cost is 10 rupees. Then how many goods I can purchase? I can purchase only the 10 goods. Yes or no? In future, if some inflation has been occurred, even though I have earning my income 100 rupees only, in such situations what it will happen? There is no increment of my income, but there is an inflation of 10%. In such situations what I will do? I will reduce to purchase my goods. I will reduce to purchase my goods. Yes or no? Say I will give in another I'll tell in this example in opposite manner. I same 100 rupees income I am earning. I can purchase 10 rupees. It gets the 10 products. It is each cost is 10 rupees and I can purchase 10 products. If I if there is an even though there is an same 100 rupees income only, there is no same 100 rupees income only, the price of the product has been reduced 9 or rupees 8. What can do in such situations? I will purchase more products. Due to purchasing more products, automatically it leads to more sales. Due to more sales, automatically it leads to more profits. Same also here. Why the multinational companies they are choosing such type of horizontal foreign direct investments in order to reduce the trade cost and to increase the foreign sales. But when coming to the vertical foreign direct investment, it is operating in a different industry. Why they are operating in different industry? We can see here. Here vertical FDI is nothing but one of the FDI made by an MNC in an industry that provides inputs for the MNC or in industry that sells the products are produced by the MNC in its home country or elsewhere. In other words, vertical investment is a foreign direct investment in companies that are related to the different stages of production. Here what they are saying, vertical FDI is nothing but how they are operating. They are operating in different stages of production, not at the same level. And how their distribution of their particular product in a different stages of production. In such situations, what the MNC will do, the MNC establishes different stages of production process, vertical FDI in different countries in order to take the advantage of factor cost differential. What is the main benefit of vertical foreign direct investment to the MNCs means in order to take the advantage of factor cost differentials. In horizontal FDI, they are reducing the trade cost and increasing their foreign sales. But in case of vertical FDI, they are taking the advantage of the factor cost differential. So that is the main difference between horizontal FDI and vertical FDI. Then another thing, here MNCs also may also undertake foreign direct investment to increase their market power. How they are increasing their market power means through with the help of the vertical integration. Here we can see what is meant by vertical integration. See here, mainly the integration may be in the form of backward or forward here. And multinational companies what they are doing means they may invest the production process that provides input for the MNCs or domestic operations. Yes or no? What they are doing? They are using that production process that provides the inputs for the MNCs of the domestic operations. Yes or no? I will give one more clarity to you. Here MNC company what they are doing? They are investing. In which they are investing? They are investing in the production process. Why they are investing in production process? Due to investing of production process, it shows it that provides the inputs. For whom it providing inputs? For the MNCs of the domestic operations. This is called backward integration. It is called backward integration. Due to backward integration, it ensures a stable supply of inputs to the firm. Yes or no? If due to proper inputs are available to our firm, then automatically our production process won't stop. Yes or no? Due to any reasons or due to any fluctuations, our production process won't stop. Yes or no? If there is a continue flow of inputs, then automatically we can product we can move into the next step. We can move into the next step again. We can market their product. If there is any hindrances between here, if there is any obstacles here, automatically our supply process will be stopped. So now you understand why the MNCs they are choosing such type of backward integration means. Here what they will do means the investor they may invest their amount in the production process. Due to investing such type of production process, there will be a continuous supplement of the inputs to the MNCs for the purpose of the operation process. So there will be no any obstacles. Next, the MNCs may also acquire a foreign firms or make a greenfield investment abroad to sell or distribute the outputs of its domestic production process. Such integration is known as forward integration. Means nothing but here the MNC what they are doing? They are acquiring a foreign firm or making a greenfield investment. Here what is meant by greenfield investment? All members have doubt. Now itself they are saying foreign direct investment is nothing but one of the capital investment. Then what is meant by greenfield investment? Here greenfield investment is the term taken in the word economics. What it is mean by greenfield investment is also nothing but one of the type of foreign direct investment only. Here with the help of greenfield investment, a company what they will do means they are establishing a operations. They are establishing a operations in a foreign country. In a foreign country. Say for example, like what type of facilities they were available with the help of greenfield investment means they can improve their sales, they can improve their office management, they can also availability of good manufacturing facilities also. So now I'll explain you. Greenfield investment is thing that nothing but one of the foreign direct investment only. Here there are the MNC why they choose means in order to establish their operations in foreign country also, not only in Indian country, they have to establish their operations in the foreign country also. So here the MNC what they are doing, they are acquiring a foreign firm or making a greenfield investment abroad. Why means they have to sell or distribute their output of its domestic production process. Yes or no? Such integration is known as forward integration. Ensures product quality besides increasing distribution efficiency. Yes or no? Due to with the help of production, with the help of forward integration, what they are doing, we are increasing its distribution efficiency. Here in backward integration, what we have done, we have given the regular inputs for the domestic operations or for the continuous supplement of goods for the manufacture. After manufacture, what you have to do, after completion of manufacture, we have to distribution our goods to the goods to the market. Yes or no? See here, there is an link between backward integration and forward integration. Here what they are doing, the investor, they are investing their amount in the production process. Due to that, there is an regular supply of inputs to the manufacturing unit. Yes or no? After completion of manufacturing unit, what I have to do, I have to distribute this type of goods to the outer countries. Due to distributing of goods only, no, we can get the profits. If you have manufactured the good and keep it in one room, what it will happen, it will destroy. What I have to do, after completion of manufacturing process, I have to make a sales. So after manufacturing, what I am doing means I am making the forward integration. Here which the inputs are completed into outputs. This outputs what I am doing means after processing, the inputs has been processed and it make it as a output. With this output, what I am doing means I am making a sales to the other countries. I am making a sales to the other countries. Yes or no? So due to that, it increases the not only the quality, it increases also distribution efficiency. By internalizing this upstream or downstream activities, what it leads to, the MNC can exploit lower factor cost abroad. Yes or no? They are taking the advantage of lower factor cost abroad. This establishes MNC to become more competitive in markets in both home market and foreign market also. See here, with the help of this type of upstream or downstream activities, what they are doing, they are taking the both advantages, not only in the home country, they are taking their advantage in the foreign market also. Thanks for watching.